The San Antonio Spurs have made a selection in the 2025 NBA draft. I'm Doug Branson, joined now by Jeff Garcia, host of Locked On Spurs. And the San Antonio Spurs have selected Dylan Harper out of Rutgers with the number 2 overall selection. Jeff, you're coming to us from the arena there in San Antonio. Did you ever have a doubt that Dylan Harper would be picked?
No, not at all. I tried to pretend I was shocked. I really did. I was like, oh, yeah, Dylan Harper. But regardless, yeah, I mean, look, it was obvious. This is a case of the best available for San Antonio. You roll out there with Castle, Fox, and Harper now, and you just figure it out. You cannot let this type of talent get away from the Spurs. The Spurs did exactly that. They didn't let him slip. You got a guy that can dribble with both hands. So he's a lefty. He's a righty. Good stock. You all know who his dad is. So all in all, I think with this guy, I would not be surprised if he's pushing for a starter job towards the end of the season, because I think he's going to push this team at the borderline to getting out of the rebuild. I think this is perhaps the last brick in that wall they needed to build, that bridge, and we're ready to rock and roll. I think this team is going to get some seasoning under them, get them little, chemistry together. Harper, Castle, Fox, Wemby, the list goes on and on. You guys have a potent team here.
Well, you mentioned those 3 guards there. So they came into this draft with De'Aaron Fox, with the Rookie of the Year, Stephon Castle. How do you feel like Dylan Harper, also a guard that liked to be on the ball there in Rutgers? How do you feel like he's going to fit into that rotation? Is he going to come off the bench? Is he going to start?
I got him coming off the bench to start the season, but I also have him maybe pushing for a starter job towards the end of the season. I think he has that type of potential in his rookie year. Look, they got so many switchable players now. Castle, you can play the 1, you can play the 2, you can play the 3. How about Harper? 1, 2, 3, possibly the 4. So when there's positionless basketball, this just proves that the Spurs are committed to that, to pretty much bringing themselves a team that can just do it all. So many interchangeable players on both ends of the court. Man, such a great pick for the Spurs. I think this team is going to be ready to rock and roll next season.
What about Dylan Harper's skill set excites you most about adding him to that Spurs young core?
Able to create some space for Wemby. Now, he may not be a great three-point shooter, but his two-point percentage is pretty good. The Spurs desperately need some floor spacers for Wemby. We saw that last season. There wasn't that many there that can do that for you. Keldon Johnson, he's not known for that. Devin Vassell, he's just streaky, but you definitely have somebody now who will help them, push them, and give not only just Wemby some space, but also a guy like Fox to operate, Castle to get there. Also like the fact that he can get to the rim and finish, create his own shot. I like that the Spurs have another shot creator on the roster now. You put that all together, and yeah, I mean, this team may be a team that you can't sleep on anymore moving forward.
You've talked a lot about the offense. Let's talk quickly about his defense. There were some defensive questions about how he would adjust. He's obviously got the size right now, but just in terms of his ability to adjust to the demands of NBA defense, how much do you think that having Victor Wembanyama behind him is going to help him, give him the time to make those adjustments at the next level?
I mean, look, Doug, Victor can help you and I on defense. I mean, that's how good it is. You have a human eraser behind you. You can gamble. You can play a little bit on the perimeter when you have that eraser behind you. So I think with time, that will come. Defense for rookies usually doesn't come later until their career, unless your name is Steph Castle. But nevertheless, I think playing in that system in San Antonio where defense is preached first, they brought in Sean Sweeney from Dallas, who was a huge factor when it comes to defense in Dallas. So I think that's going to help Harper and his development and the defensive end. Is it a concern? Yeah, but I think something he'll get used to and adjust to as his career begins in San Antonio next season.
Okay, Jeff, we're going to let you get back to work, and you've got one more pick to cover. Theoretically, they've got the 14th selection, so we might see you back here in just a bit. For more on Dylan Harper, here's Andy Patton from the Locked On College Basketball podcast.
Dylan Harper would be considered a lock to go number 1 in almost any other NBA draft. He has that kind of upside. I'm Andy Patton, co-host of the Locked On College Basketball podcast. Harper is a 6'6" guard with elite scoring instincts, averaging nearly 20 points per game in the talent-rich Big Ten Conference. Yes, Rutgers was not very good last year, but do not let that fool you. Harper has future NBA All-Star written all over him. Harper can get to his spots with ease. His athleticism absolutely plays up at the next level. He is also a gifted passer and a strong defensive player. And while the outside shot could use some fine tuning, most believe he will find his way into becoming an above average three-point shooter as well. Harper is not just a consolation prize for missing out on Cooper Flagg. He is an elite prospect in his own right who should be a fixture in the NBA for years to come.
For continued coverage of Dylan Harper, check out Locked On NBA on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.